What's up, everybody? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Oh, man, I know you guys looked at this title, and you might think I'm talking about, I did play sports. Believe it or not, I was athletic. Now I'm a bodybuilder, so I try to maintain athleticism very poorly. I played high school football. I was really good at it. You know, I've done some cool stuff in my life. However, been on some good baseball teams when I was younger. You know, I was athletic. I played sports. The best team I was ever on, for that I'm going to put a drink, take a toast to these gentlemen. Not to mention, this is not the only team I've worked with. This is by far not the entire team. There were more people involved in this team. You might have heard of some of these guys. We all came from the same place. We all originated from the same group. And we all ended up doing some really cool things within the industry. And the one thing I want to say set this group apart is excellence. We saw obstacles and we met them. We beat them. We did not take no for an answer. When we needed to hit numbers, we hit numbers. If Richard and I'm going to hit you, he is later, needed to go on the road for 100 days in a row, which we damn near did. I think it was 68 out of 93 days. Or I know that number's changed over the years, but man, we're getting old. Richard's like fucking 60 now. We did it. We did whatever it took. If it meant me and my man going to Colorado, getting lost, somehow ending up in New Mexico, we made it happen. We did the meetings. We did everything we could to build business. And we still train and we still maintain and we look the part. And I just want to go over what this team is. This is the early 2000s at Weeder Publications, now acquired by American Media while we were there. This is by far the most talented squad of people I have ever been a part of knowing. I've maintained friendships with all of them. At least I'm friends with them. They might not like me. And I got to say, it was one hell of a time. Now, I want to give you some background history. I was literally finishing up college, and I was working at Bally Total Fitness, where I was a personal training coordinator, where I would go in and I ran a few clubs, you know, the Chatsworth location, the Simi Valley location, a few other locations that I oversaw the training in or I trained within. And I also did some training, which is how I paid my bills and put myself through school. I also had a part-time job at Big Five Sporting Goods, where I helped people try on cheap shoes. It was the worst job ever. And before that, I worked at a feed store where I literally just moved bags around and stocked bags. I was a stock boy. And I also did some floor sales for Sentinella Feed and Pet Supplies on Sentinella in Venice, California. So that's where I started. Those are my humble beginnings as far as other side jobs and whatever I could do to pay the bills. I didn't come from a rich family. No, I had to work. I had to work a lot. I had to work 60 hours to put myself through school. I was at the gym one day. I was in my office. We had these glass offices, and Bob Washburn is his name. He was a senior VP, basically the associate publisher, whatever you want to call it, for the Weeder Publications, which at that time was Men's Fitness, Muscle and Fitness, and Flex. This is before Muscle and Fitness hers. And Bob came in my office and said, hey, you know, he kind of talked like, kind of like Lumberg on Office Space, you know? Hey, you know, kind of had that kind of a approach. And he told me about a position that was open at Weeder Publications in advertising. And before that, he asked who I was, what I did. And I happen to have a Flex magazine with me because I read it. And I just started talking about it because it's what I enjoyed. My focus was marketing, marketing communication. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go and I'll interview for it. So I walked in. There's this Hawaiian dude with this flat top. His name was Laya Clark, and Laya hates being mentioned, so I'm sure he's going to firebomb my house. Laya was a groomsman in my wedding. I still speak to Laya quite frequently, and I have nothing but love. He's the one who you can blame for bringing me in this industry. I interviewed for the job with absolutely no experience in advertising or sales in sales at all, except for selling shoes and slang and training. And he hired me. And I remember we were in Colorado, and I saw him. He happened to be there for some other business. And I said, bro, and I was with Peter. He had the camera. I don't know where the footage is, and he didn't want it on camera anyway. I think Peter snuck a film, but we didn't. We deleted it like he asked. And I'm like, dude, why'd you hire me? You know, and I've asked him this so many times because I wouldn't have hired me. He said that I just had this fire, and you could tell that I just was going to succeed. And sure as shit, we did succeed. Oh, this group was amazing. But I'll tell you what, Laya is the one who has done it. And I'm not going to know what Laya is doing now. Let's just say that he's very successful. He went on to be a co-publisher of the Weider Publications Enthusiast magazines, which is Muscle and Fitness Flex, Muscle Fitness Hers. I don't believe he was Men's Fitness. But I mean, Laya's been extremely successful and has had an extremely successful career. And he's the one who brought me into this industry. Another guy, you might not know, but have you ever heard of No G Bars? No G Bars. Richard Hart, Shoebox is the name of his company. Richard Hart was brought on about 2 years into my near 5-year tenure at Weider Publications. And Richard was essentially marketing. So Richard and I would get on the road together. We essentially spent every single moment of every single day together, except when he'd go visit his family in Houston every once in a while. Richard now has been, again, No G Bar and a bunch of other products that you might not even know he's behind. Richard has been very, very amazing. Essentially, Richard Hart. Vito Sansone, one of my best friends, again, another guy at my wedding. We used to go out and he used to handle Men's Fitness. He used to handle the consumer accounts like Nissan, Toyota. And at that time, I was handling those accounts for Muscle Fitness and Muscle Fitness Hers and other groups. This is before American Media. After American Media bought the company, we worked together a lot more because I was, corporate sales, which is where I'd go for everything, including the Inquirer, the Star. I mean, I had a chance to spread my wings and whatever that Mariah Carey song said. So Vito went on to become vice president of Muscle Tech. Very proud of Vito, very close friend of mine. I love Vito. I literally, just a great guy. Always there for me when I needed him. Another guy I'm having lunch with tomorrow is Darren Clapprod. He handled Midwest sales. And Darren is still at Weider doing his thing. And he's got other things going on. Darren's a great guy. Here's where it gets really funny, man. You know Jim Stepani. Jim. You know the brand Jim, pre-Jim, all that? Jim and myself used to spend days and hours together talking science and supplements and just the love of the game in his office or in my office at Weider. We'd go to lunch together. We'd hang out together. He'd come over for barbecues at my house. Our families knew each other. Jim Stepani's become extremely successful. He's an extremely smart individual. He's a very close friend. A lot of people think since we have competing brands that there's some love lost. Absolutely not. I would still, to this day, if Stepani ever needed anything, I'd drop everything and give him the shirt off my back. Jim Stepani is an awesome person. He's an awesome individual. And again, can't say enough about him. So you see where the team's going here. It gets even better. Mike McErlane works with Jim Stepani. Mike McErlane went to Cal Lutheran University like myself, and we hired him out of that, basically to work for Weider to replace me. So Mike, a fantastic guy, very talented individual. Can't say enough good about Mike. Move forward. Dr. Jim Wright, the late Dr. Jim Wright. I actually did a video on his passing. One of the unsung heroes in the industry, wrote some of the first works on steroids. Was an expert on everything. I used to take Dr. Jim Wright. I used to pay for it. It's expensive. Shh, don't tell Weider. It wasn't business. We talked business, but out for a martini lunch at Morton's every once in a while. And we'd have a good time. But I learned more from Dr. Jim Wright than you can even imagine. Dr. Jeff Feliciano, I don't know where he's at now, but he was heading up this Weider nutrition stuff. Again, another genius, one of those guys who pioneered a lot of things in this industry that, again, you might not even know about. Sean Perrine, who I believe is currently the editorial director of Muscle and Fitness and Flex, another smart individual who's a part of this team. Devon Alexander, she wrote a lot of the nutrition articles and a lot of the cooking articles. You know those things on like how to make this, how to make that. She's been on the Food Network. She's been all over the place. She's a damn celebrity. And I will say, this makes me proud. She came over to my house. I made her and Katie chicken parmesan. Except I made it with my twist. I fry it like a Polish cutlet. And I just do a bunch of cool shit to it. It's not healthy at all. She said my Polish parmesan, as I call it, was some of the best eaten she's ever had. Granted, that was about 15, 20 years ago. But hey, she liked my parmesan. Devon, beautiful, beautiful girl. Just very talented. Love her to death. I'm going to finish it here. There's more that I'm missing. including the many people I met at Weider who have helped. I remember learning so much from Tim Patterson at Biotest. I remember, Sean Phillips, I still remain cordial and friendly with. You've seen him on my Instagram a couple times. Just met so many good people. I'm going to end it with my man, James Grage. James is a co-owner, one of the owners of BPI Sports, a huge, enormous company. James came in about 2 years into my tenure. James is a smart individual, genuine guy. And again, this is a member of the team that I'm so proud to have been a part of. And all of us have gone on to leadership roles within the industry. So why am I bringing this up? The reason is this team of individuals all had a mission to be the best they could. And together, we made epic shit happen. Remember when the magazines used to be 90% ads or like 800 pages big? That was us. That was us. We knew how to make business work. Not only did it work for Weider, they were bringing in cash, but all of our customers, we'd give them advice. So they actually, when they ran an advertisement, they'd have a tremendous return on investment. And we'd follow through, and we basically just embodied, at least when I was there. I don't know what happened when I left. I'm not going to speak for that. We embodied customer service and personalization. And I take those values that I learned from these individuals today, and I utilize a lot of them. And I'm glad I was able to be friends with these guys. And I'm really fortunate to have been a part of a team that, in my opinion, this industry will never, ever see such an epic group of individuals all in one place. And that was the team, the dream team. And you know what? I'm kind of reminiscing because, Darren lives out in my area now. He's always been the Midwest rep living in Illinois. And I still talk to Laya quite often. And I see Stepani all the time. We actually ran into each other at Denny's at the Olympia, and we shot the shit. And again, like when we run into these guys, we do our battles on the business field. BPI, I love BPI. I sell the shit out of BPI at TigerFitness.com. If you're going to buy BPI, buy it at TigerFitness.com. I love BPI. Let's be real here. Stepani's brand sells at a company that I dislike. I don't like those guys at all. They're my competitor. I'm aiming to chop them down, and I'm going to beat them because you're just a number to them, and you're more than just a number here. We're not bragging that you're 20 million customers, 1 to 20 million customers. We're bragging that you're more than just a number. I'd rather do business with me, but Stepani's brand's solid. If you want to support Stepani, I give it. But guess what? When Stepani and I saw each other, the fact that I don't like that company, but I love him and I'm cool with his brand, and if he opened it up to the mass market and not exclusively over there, I bring it in a heartbeat. He's my friend. He's my friend. He's doing fine. Me not supporting buying his brand from that store, it's not going to hurt him because he's a strong individual and he has a great following. I love that guy to death. He made a business decision. It was probably a good one, but I got bills to pay too. And at the end of the day, you know what? It's kind of like playing football. I played sports, and I remember, I go off. If you guys don't want to hear this shit, I don't care. This is my channel, and I'm tired of talking training all the time. All right. When I played football, it was high school. It was my senior year, and I used to hang out with a group of guys. One was Brian Cadet, his brother Irwin, and then there was this dude who went to Hamilton High, Sue Kim. And he was like 6'4", 300 pounds. He was a beast, man. And all summer, I remember Brian talking shit because I knew we had to go up. I was playing guard. He was playing nose guard. I'm going to say for the record, I kicked his ass that game. I had a pancake block after pancake block. He just wasn't quick enough. I was only 5'7", right? But I was quick. I was a 295 bowling ball coming at your ass, right? I beat his ass that game. We won the game. After the game, we talk shit during the game. So what now, bitch, right? After the game, we shook hands. The next day, we ate at Shakey's. We got all-you-can-eat pizza because we were fat as fuck. Those were the good old days, man. Stepani and I, we battle. We do battle on the field. That's what it's all about. I don't battle with James, man. I want you to buy BPI from me, all right? I don't battle with Richard, man. If you're going to buy no G bars, buy them from me. None of these guys I battle with on a daily basis. Vito, if you want muscle tech, we got your muscle tech, okay? At the end of the day, yeah, I have my brand, but it's a store. I think my products are better than theirs. I look better than all of them. I've aged much better than all of them. Except for James. That motherfucker's still sexy. I still think I'm sexier than Jim. He has a tat look. I mean, he goes for that whole biker gang appeal. That whole like, hey, I'm a bad boy. I have tattoos. Yeah. So, I still fuck James. James is hot. But no, nonetheless, I mean, this is the team. And while we all have gone separate ways and we might be competing, I have no doubt in my mind that if one of us needed help, a lot of these guys, I'm not going to say who, have gone. Relationships explode, man. You ever meet some people who are in love, deeply in love, husband and wife, now they're mortal enemies? There's a couple individuals on this list who don't necessarily like each other anymore. But you know what? I guarantee you this. I guarantee this, and hopefully it never comes down to this. If anyone on this list ever needed help and he called that person, they'd be there for them. That's how good of a group of guys this is. I just had to reminisce. I don't think you guys are aware of the Dream Team. I don't know if you guys are aware of some of the products and the companies that you support I worked with in my early 20s. And I don't think you're aware of how awesome these guys are. So much love once again, Sean Perrine, Lia Clark, Richard Hart, Vito Sansone, Darren Clapprod, Jim Stepani, Mike Mackerlane, Jim Wright, Dr. Jeff Feliciano, James Grage, and Devon Alexander. Much love to all y'all. Okay, guys, till next time, just remember, being a part of the most elite team in the sport nutrition industry's history, it's not a game.